There we go. Right, okie dokie. So this is the box, and it is really quite sizable, although I am going to scale it down, and I will explain why. So what is this? This particular one that I made is 4 inches high by 3 inches. But I will say now, when I made this, although I love the size of it, oh, I'm just struggling to move my chair. I did have problems in die cutting, that it just creased the cardstock here because of the size of it, and I'll explain that when I show you how to do it later. Let me just move that up a tiny bit. So I'm scaling it down very slightly, just by like 1/2 inch, just to take that issue away, hopefully. But I thought we'll still use the same flowers and that and sentiment from Bloom and Grow, but I'm going to do it in, oh, I'm almost feeling very predictable here, in the Pretty Peacock. I was going to choose one of the other in colours, but I can't help it. I love this. I would have done it in the Soft Sea spray, but I haven't got any in 12 by 12, and that's what I needed to be able to do this project. So let me get started. I will just kind of tuck that there for the minute. So I have cut and scored I've only scored one of them, but I'm going to score the other one for you in front of you so that you can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to just take this down a fraction. So this isn't the size for this one, but it's only 1/2 inch off. And actually, I think it is better. So this is 10 inches square. So yeah, 10 by 10. And this is going to be, the coloured one is going to be the outer shell, as this is. And the crumb cake one is going to be the base. So what you want to do when you cut the base is you cut it to 10 by 10, but then you want to take a slither off of 2 sides where the corner meets. So just two opposite sides. So you don't want to go that side and that side, because it's not going to keep it square. So 2 sides, just a hair's whisker off of it, and then do your scoring. The scoring for this piece and for this piece are identical. So I'll show you what I did on this one, and so that you get the measurements for it. Oh, so 10 inches square. I'll bring in my scoreboard and hope we can see all this in. Let me take that away. I don't want you to get confused by that. Ah, Vancouver, your favourite set. It's a beautiful set, isn't it? I absolutely love the fonts and the sentiments, and also the size of them. I really like, look how beautiful some of these are. They're just gorgeous. So we're going to use that in a moment. But so 10 inch square, and what we want to do is I want to score at 3.5 inches on each side. So butt it in 3.5 and rotate, and then 3.5, and just keep going round. So as I said before, the top and the bottom are identical, other than that tiny hair's whisker that is cut off. Let me just put that over there out of the way. So then what you want to do is, hello Alison, how are you? I've been thinking about you today, bless your heart. Fold on all of the score lines, and in fact I will show you the cutting on this one first, because I will fold on those as well. Yeah, that other box is a great size, but it was just a tiny little bit too big. Ah, hello there, Daniela. How are you? right? Long scissors I like to use, or you could use your trimmer, but I'm just going to do this by hand. So I'm going to cut, am I on? Yes, I like to use long blade scissors because it's then almost like pretty much one cut. So you're going to do 2 on one side. It would look great in pretty much any colour. Good, Alison. I'm pleased you are. And good. And the opposite. And okay, I've done a heart, which is what I'm going to show you this evening, just for simplistic sake of making it work for you. But I'd really like to do one with a shape or well, a heart is a shape, like an animal or something. So watch this space. So what you then want to do, you need to make some tabs. So now I'm going to work on this one. I want to take it out, but not all of it because I need a tab. So if you turn it and you cut just a little tab away from the score line to there. Let's just make sure I don't cut through all of that. Okay, and the same on the other side. And then turn it and repeat it on this side. And this is, as I say, going to be the same for the box top, the lid. Let's get those bits out of the way. Okay, so we've got that part. Then what you want to do, I'll just take my snips, just angle these little bits here. Oh, my scissors need cleaning, they're a bit sticky. In fact, I can do it with that. That's probably just as easy. Huge scissors, huge. Yes, I'm getting quite excited at having a nice bathroom to be using. So bubble bath at the ready, I think. So that is the basis of what you want to do, and you're going to repeat it on this one. Gosh, did you hear my tummy then grumbling away? Hubby has gone in to make dinner, so I'm not quite sure. Oh no, he did say beef bourguignon tonight, and I have to say, by the sounds of my tummy, I am well and truly ready for it. So again, long cuts, either with long scissors or turn it, or with your paper trimmer. You can do that, whichever you favour. There's that. I've got some lovely people coming in to join me. Thank you for dropping by. And then again, we're going to be taking away these corners, not this one. So that is the way I'm going to be doing this in a moment. Okay, so these stay. These corners are going to come off, but the way they will come off, oh, sorry, turn it that way, and where you've got that score line, come out from the score line a little bit and cut yourself a tab. Repeat on the other side. Turn it. You see it coming together? Repeat here and there. And then again, just angle these little tabs on all of the tabs that you've got there. There we go. There's no kind of precision into how wide these tabs are or how angled you cut. There's no precision there, but you do want to consider perhaps Lynn from Lancing. My grandfather used to live in Lancing. You're not far away from my mum right now. You just want to really consider what tape you're going to use, if it's tape indeed that you are going to use. So, you know, depending on the thickness of your tape, if you're using our tear and tape, then, you know, that's kind of plenty there. So have you had nice weather down in Lancing today? I don't know that I actually spoke to my mum about weather today. Spoke about most things, but just, yeah, not about the weather. So what are we going to do next? I think I will show you how to do the die cutting of the top. So what I have used, there's a beautiful set, Be Stitched Mine framelits, or Stitched Be Mine actually, I think they've been renamed to. Mostly a few showers. Oh, that's a shame. We had some gorgeous weather today actually. We had umbrella, parasol up and sitting in the garden for a short while, which was nice having lunch. So I'm taking this beautiful little scalloped heart, and what I want to do is consider that this is the top of my box. Okay, there's the top of my box. So what you don't want to do is be looking at it and putting it there, because when you die cut, that heart is going to be upside down. Okay, so consider that as your top, and then consider where you're going to die cut. And in fact, I might do it on that one, so that I've got a nice clean edge of that being tucked in. If I do it on that one, you're going to see that edge there. So I'm going to choose this side here. Okay, now what I want to do, let me show you here. The plates that I'm going to sandwich these between, this is going to stick out too far. And this was where I had the problem with this particular one, in the fact that what I'm about to show you that I did to put these in, I didn't quite get them fully in. So by the time, I think I did it that way round and put it in, but by the time that went through, it just nudged and it just creased. But that was because it was that little bit bigger. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tuck a flap under. And just make sure that that flap doesn't overhang where you're going to put that. And then you can't tuck that one back under because it's sticking out. So you tuck one backwards on itself. And then I'm going to do it that way. Okay, me with me? So I'm only doing that so that it will fit through the die cutting machine. Otherwise, I'm going to struggle. And what I'm probably going to do is just put it through that way round, so that I can take it into the die cutter just to there, and only to there. I feel like you kind of need to see that to understand it a little bit more. Let me try. So, has that moved at all? I think it has a little bit. Let's just straighten it. Okay. Then you'll hear it when it stops. There you go. Now I can bring it back. So I haven't then got to go through all of this. So there's that. Oops, I've just dropped the die. Where's that gone? Oh no. Okay. Well, okay. I shall look for that die in a moment, because I did die cut one earlier. But when you have the die, when you kind of take it out, you take out this piece, and you also get a beautiful stitched piece, which I love. Hey Gina, how are you? My goodness, there's a blast from the past. And Rebecca Wilmore, lovely to have you join me. And Sue, super. I've got some lovely people joining me. Thank you. So yeah, so remind me to pick my die up at the end, because I don't want to go mislaying that. So that is that part. Now, this is obviously going to form the bottom of the box. Now, what you want to think about is which side is going to form your front. So again, I want one of these plain sides that doesn't have the taps. tabs. I'm thinking of bathrooms still. Oh, bless you. You should come round for a cup of coffee sometime, Gina. Bless your heart. My little boy is getting bigger and bigger. The lovely Gina used to look after Bertie. And in fact, he does his own little Facebook lives on here now, Gina. So you will get to see him at some point on here. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to kind of marry up one of these plain-sided no tabs to one of these plain-sided no tabs. And when you think about how that's going to slot on, you just want to line them up so that it doesn't go overhanging. But that is where it's going to sit when the box lid goes on. So what I have done is earlier I die cut out of a post-it note one of these heart shapes. And so if I just nest, cool, that's bright. If I just nest that there for a moment, it's not very sticky, that bit, so I need to just make sure. Oh, that's just moved. Just make sure that that is where I want it to be. Okay, then what I can do is take that away, replace. You're thinking, where is she going with this right now? Right, and now I've got a template of where I can start stamping. Because if you see, I've stamped in the middle here. So that when you take the lid off, you've got a little bit of decoration underneath. You don't want all the decoration to be on the top. So what I did was I took this image just here and some plain white ink, and I just quite simply stamped randomly all over wherever you want with whatever image you want. Don't worry if you get like a little gap or something, because you want it to be a bit random, and you're going to put some embellishment over it, so your eye will be detracted away from anything that you think, oh no, I don't quite like the little gaps. Don't stress about it. It will all come together nicely. So let's get a shot of that, and then we can put the box together. We can start doing that. Now, you can choose whatever adhesive you prefer, whether you want to use tear and tape, liquid, or whatever is your preference. So I am going to use tear and tape because that's nice and strong and it's quick to use. So they're on all my tabs. Okay, and then let's just take the ends off, and then when you hope you've scored well and it all lines up nicely. Icky sticky, and there you go. There's one. Now let's take the other side off, and again both top and bottom are identical, so they get put together the same way, only difference being that the base it's approximately a 1/16, but it's just like a slither. You don't even need to measure it. It is just literally a slither, just so that the top slides over the bottom more. Okay, so that is, what is that? That's 3.5 inches high and 3 inches wide. Okay, so there's that bit, and then that, when put together, will sit over there. So again, we quite simply get the tear and tape and put this together like that. So I've been trying desperately to get like a little instruction sheet for those that kindly asked about putting this together, but I thought this was probably the easiest way. Now, one thing you want to consider when you've die cut your aperture is if your tabs are just a fraction too big, like that one is, it will stick out. So you either want to slim it down completely, or since it's not going to be seen, you can quite simply just take a piece out so that it isn't seen there. Can you see that? Okay, so let's just finish putting this together. Jeannie, your little one must be growing now, bless her. I can't think of the last time I saw you. Wow. Oh, feel all fingers and thumbs today. There's that. And that. You could put more decoration on the other side. You could put more decoration on the whole box entirely. Make it out of a patterned card. But as I say, for the size of this, you do need a 10-inch square. So because of that, you obviously need to purchase some 12 by 12 cardstock and not just your standard A4. So there is that. But let's keep our fingers crossed. How old is Bertie now? He's 8, although somebody asked him today and he said, I'm 8.5. He's clearly into that age of the half matters. Why is that getting stuck on? Yeah, 8.5, just about to start year 4. It's mad. And how about Evie? How is she now? What? Oh, it's getting caught on. Now that shouldn't happen, and in a second it will just suddenly slide together. It's just, oh, there you go. There you are. So there's the main kind of body of the box, and then we can embellish it. So on this one, I then put that piece that I cut out there, but actually I found a scrap white one in my, so I thought I might actually put a white one there. So I thought that helped lift the whole project a little bit. So I'm going to say this piece gets cut out when you die cut. It's left in the die. 5 in December, oh my word. School age now then. Wow. Yeah, you're left with that. So you get your pokey tool and take it out, and you can then use that to embellish. So then, oh, when you've then got some decoration on the inside of your box, when someone then takes it out, you might have some tissue paper and your gift or whatever it is. But it looks pretty both ways, both inside and outside, if you get my going. So then the decoration. So this beautiful Bloom and Grow stamp set. Love, love, love. I kept playing with other stamp sets at the beginning, and then once I got hold of this one, oh my goodness, I kind of couldn't put it down. So I have just found, when I say I've just found, I do this. I have a little tray that it remains on my table here on my desk, and I have lots of little bits that I've die cut or got scraps I've got left over. There you go. That was when I last played with this set, and I stamped out a few, I die cut a few, and I found it earlier, so I thought actually saves me having to die cut. So that's just a little tip. And then when you're looking for something, it might be just a leaf you want for something, you can just reach for that little tub and you've got it. But I do need some other stamping to be done. So imagine that's just been stamped. I want to stamp the sentiment, which is on. That's that one that I want there. So take the black ink here And let's just do, now I actually only want the Celebrate, so I can afford to let that overhang and not, I don't need that bit, I'm only going to fussy cut that part. I don't need that because I've already done that. And then, oh, and then I will do the little U on a piece of black. Oh, sorry, I've just knocked that, as you can tell. I just went to get my hair out of my face there. Okay, then we're going to need, what would you do the same, Sue? What with all the little scraps on the table? It's so handy. I never used to do it. That's kind of been a habit that I've picked up this year, actually. But it's really handy to just have. And that's why I've got so many of these little things, because from when I have die cut them, if I've not used them up, I just don't throw it away. I keep it on in a little tub there for a little while, and then eventually. Now, I'm going to sit down for this bit because I'm going to be doing some, you like that project, and you're going to, oh, well, I hope the rest of your day at work is, I want to say enjoyable if that's possible, but I hope it goes smoothly and swiftly and you can get to crafting, well, promptly when you get home then. But thank you for stopping by, and yeah. Come back later and see how we finish off. Right, let's get, now these do feel a bit sticky. Let me see what yeah, these are better. These have got little charm that I made. Okay, so I'm going to fussy cut these. Now I had one of my ladies the other day at my class at Dunelm Mills passed a comment about my scissors, and she asked if she could just have a little cut with them, and she was quite astonished at how fabulous our paper snips are, and they really are. Keep them clean. As I say, I've just swapped from this pair because they're feeling sticky, so I keep mine clean by wiping them over with nail varnish remover, just some cotton wool and nail varnish remover, and that keeps them working beautifully, and obviously only on paper. Don't go cutting loads of other things. Sorry, I'm not kind of checking if you're leaving any messages at the minute, only because I don't want to go cutting myself, because they are also, let's just get rid of the bulk of that makes it easier. They're also super sharp. Not many people like fussy cutting that I know, but I find it quite therapeutic, and I kind of find it's all about how you work the scissors and the paper, and what you move and what you don't move. And you get to know how much white border you like, and yeah, all personal taste. But I find it quite therapeutic. I can while away the hours doing a bit of fussy cutting, actually. I did a project only a couple of days ago where I was using up scraps, just to, yeah, use up scraps really. Right, so we'll use that in a moment. Now, what colours do we fancy? So that one, I kind of sort of went for like on like there. But what do you fancy seeing? Do you fancy, I pulled out of my my new caddy, the blends, and I've pulled out Pool Party to go with that, or Flirty Flamingo. So do we want to go kind of tonally, something that blends, or do you fancy seeing something that sort of pops a little bit? What do you reckon? Do you fancy hearts for Flirty Flamingo, or thumbs up? Actually, do you know what? I don't think I've seen thumbs up or anything I don't know that that's even working. But you fancy something that pops. Do we reckon that Flirty Flamingo is going to get the vote? One more person to say Flirty Flamingo and the Flirty Flamingo gets it. I think it's Flirty Flamingo, isn't it? Let's give it a whirl. So I'm not going to need all of the flour. I'm kind of focusing mainly on this one as I did here. So with my blends, there we go. Few more Flirty Flamingos. Yes, let's have a pop of pink. So I lay down. I personally, blending is kind of quite a people do it completely. I say completely differently. I like to lay down the lighter colour first. Now, I wouldn't want to go too much more than I have because it can then start drying. And then add, how well can you see that? Shall I zoom in a little bit for you? And I add a little bit more in the middle. And blend that in. I read something on one of the Facebook pages, and it was fabulous. It was about how to look after your nibs and how you have to think to yourself that you are painting eyelashes onto a baby, not gouging out the eyes of your ex. I thought that really tickled me. I often say when you're inking up a stamp, rather than really pushing it into the ink pad, to quite simply imagine that it's like kiss, kiss, kiss of a baby's head. So it was a similar sort of thing. It just tickled me, made me smile. So I'm just using the light and the dark of the Flirty Flamingo. So as I say, I put the lightest down first. That helps to wet the paper, which then makes the Kristen, you're watching live this week. Welcome. I'm pleased you're here. I always put the light down first. It kind of wets the paper, so to speak, and helps you blend a little bit more. So I've done the centre. I'm going to add, this is the light of the basic black. So I'm going to add a little bit of that to the centre and really get some kind of depth in there. Now you'll notice I didn't just scrub it in. I kind of want it to make it look like it's got a bit of texture by sort of doing like little lines. You'll borrow it if you can remember it. Yeah. Is that the stamp set one or the other one? Yeah, I always say to my ladies, it's like it's a gentle kiss of a baby, sort of like, and rather than going for the full-on teenage snog. And the brushes is, yeah, painting eyelashes onto a baby, not gouging out the eyes of your ex. It just tickled me. Right, let's go for, what do we think here? I think if we're going for a pop, ooh, now could that be, what do you reckon? Do we reckon that? What's that, Granny Apple Green? Or do we think we need to tone it down a little bit? What's that one? No, I feel like I want to go, or you could, actually there's not many leaves, you could go completely out there, and who says leaves have to be green? You could actually, although and leave just the flower to do the popping. Do you know, I'm tempted to do that. It made me chuckle. Yeah, they made me chuckle. It's one of those things I always just remember that, and it's a funny one, and I think people respond to it. They remember. Right, I am going to. What have I picked up? I think this is crumb cake. Yeah, light crumb cake. So this is the same colour as the card base, the box base, sorry, the cardstock that I've used for the box base. We will use, now, I haven't yet started picking out which leaves and flowers I'm going to cut out here. So I'm kind of just going to colour everything other than those flowers, because I might want extra leaves popping out somewhere. So although they're kind of a bit far away, I'm still going to colour them because they might come in handy. And then I think I am going to follow Janice's request. Is it this one? Light Old Olive. I am going to put the tiniest touch in here, just to pick it out a little bit. Okay. Then we will add a bit more. Need the darker one. I do love the new storage for the blends, I have to say. It is right on my desk before me, within reach, and it looks beautiful. It's colourful. It's in, I've got it just in one tower, which is great. Yeah, like those leaves, that colour. I say, who says they always have to be green? Sometimes breaking out of the box is good. Yep. And then I might just add tiniest bit of extra shading just at the back here, where the petals are kind of covered by the front petals. You like the blend storage too. Have you got any of the other bits, Janice? I haven't ventured there, only because I've got my wall behind me, but it's so tempting because it really looks lovely. There we go. Now you could, with the lightning one to take, you could just take a little bit out to lighten it a bit. Ah, the church bells have just started. I do love the sound of the church bells. I find them quite therapeutic. There. So, ooh, yes, like. Right, so a bit more fussy cutting. Now I've got to decide which bits I'm going to. So first and foremost, so this has been die cut to start with, the dies that go with this. So I'm now going to fussy cut some embellishment out. Yeah, I did a lot of fussy cutting the other day, just using up DSP scraps. It was actually quite satisfying in more ways than one. Satisfying in the sense of the peaceful fussy cutting, but also in the fact that I was being so frugal. I showed them on my my page today, yeah, just using up pieces. But that bird ballad paper is perfect for that. Right. Okay. Let us see what I've got. Right. See, that there looks a bit daft at the minute, but don't stress, because I had the same issue on this one. I seem to recall. In fact, I think I did that way round, but I'm going to... Hey, we could put it down here even. Who says it has to be at the top? Although, yeah, we could do that. I feel like the Celebrate You needs to be... Maybe let's put it on the right-hand side for a change. Let's finish off cutting the other bits, and then we can make a decision which side we want that to go. I'll just get a few more leaves, just in case we want to tuck them in. Right. It's getting fiddly, they're so little now. There. And yes, Bertie has he gone to bed, or did I just hear him? Oh no, I think he's on his way, in fact, to come and say goodnight to me. So he wants to come and say goodnight. Come on, be quick. Oh, you can't come on camera without a top on, Bertie. Come here. Come and give Mummy a quick cuddle and just say hello to everybody. They can't see you, don't worry. You say hello.
Hello.
You say he's just run down the garden in his underpants to come and say good night to me. So we're doing all right, Bertie. We're at this point here, so we're nearly there, and then Mummy's going to come in. But you're off to bed then.
Yeah.
All right. No night, sausage.
No.
I love you, and I'll see you in the morning.
Love you. See you in the morning.
Sweet dreams. I'm loving the stripy socks with the slider sandals as well with the underpants. It's a good look, Bertie. Oh, the ladies are saying good night. But
Stampers.
good night, Stampers. You're a nutter.
See you next week.
Yes, see you next week with the project you should have done this week. Right. Okay. Let's have a look. That's him off to bed, bless him. He's been doing swimming lesson each day this week, so he's quite tired actually, although from the giddiness there you wouldn't think it. Right. Let's finish getting the rest of the sentiment. We're nearly there. Finish getting the rest of the sentiment so that then we can kind of decide where these last few bits go. He's a sweetheart. Thank you, Sue. Bless him. He's a good boy. He really is. We are so lucky. Yeah, I do feel very blessed. Bless him. Right, I'm using the embossing buddy to just neutralise some black cardstock and the Versamark. And then I've picked out this sentiment. So a minute ago we used the Celebrate from this, but that's quite a big one. And so I didn't want to use the same size U. I wanted to pick out the U from this size so that it just adds a little bit of variation to what we've got. So stamp that on there and get some white on there. Put the lid on there before I go blowing it everywhere. And then I'll make some noise with I Do Love Heat Embossing. Let me see. I love that. The heat embossing. Yes, I know, Julia. Do you know, even in my designs of the upcoming... nearly there. I've been designing for upcoming classes, and yeah, getting those out there onto my new booking system. I've got 2 months worth on there already and more to come. And I have been thinking about all you ladies that are like, no more heat embossing for the time being. So I promise you, if it appears on the card, which it does for my Dunelm ladies for Tuesday, there will be an alternative. So don't worry. I know I'm determined to get you enjoying it and feeling more confident with it, but I won't thrust it upon you. So again, I am just quite simply fussy cutting. So actually this project, for some of my ladies that don't like fussy cutting, heat embossing or bow tying, this covers the lot. Let me just get a shot of that. It's easier to work with. And then it's funny the things some like some things and some don't like others. Some like messy play and mixed media and others don't. But I love it. That's what's so interesting about us all. And yeah, we all like different things. Joanna likes embossing, yeah. Your craft from I'm finished going to practice. Oh, good. Yes, you should. You should. I want to see what you come up with. Right, so let's see how we want to put this together. Do we want the flower to the left or to the right? I'm kind of actually quite liking there actually. Now what you've got to remember is this is a slider box. So because of that sliding up and down, you do not want to be anchoring any of this onto the crumb cake. You must make sure that it overhangs because it's these points here that you're going to be attaching it with. So you need to make sure you've got plenty to do that. Now that looks cool because that's covering a few areas where it's kind of a bit of a rugged area. Then what I can do is with these additional, this is where I don't often use tweezers, but this is where you want tweezers to then tuck it in and stick it to the back of the flower, not to the box. So let us use some glue dots. So glue dots, one there. Okay. One down there. And then one. Yep, I think, Sue, when you have got a bit inky, you know you've had fun. That's for sure. So then that can sit there and we can perhaps cluster that. I feel like it needs, oh, I might put it up there actually. That looks all right. And then we need, so if I'm sticking this underneath here to the back of the flower, you have to remember that you're not putting it on the reverse side. You're going to be putting it on the front side of the image. Now I don't want much of that, so I might have to fold that glue dot in and then stick that under there. And then I'll get some of these, the small dimensionals, and tuck. It suddenly feels really quiet down here. It's all the raucous laughter of Bertie is suddenly quietened down. Yes, we've got a sleepover tomorrow, one of his little friends. So we've got some fun there. Well, let's get the celebrate on first. So 3 and 4. Yep, I like that. Happy with that. Don't like waste, so I feel like I want to add maybe another one in there, of which that can have a glue dot behind it. So let's tuck that in under there. See, all these little bits, they might kind of initially look a little bit odd in shape, but once they're tucked behind something, they kind of sort of somehow work. Yeah, let's put that one in there. Just do no, don't like that. Move it over a bit. It's a bit too far away from there. Perfect. Okie dokie. And then we will put the bow on, and I still need to decide where I'm going to put the little U. But let's get some more. I find these dimensionals so tiny that you, that's not, you kind of, I feel like my fingers are too big for it. Right, ribbon. Just give myself a little bit more space to wrap this. I absolutely adore the new In Colour ribbons. I'm a very kind of neutral, rusticy sort of girl, so linen is right up my street. I've actually got a linen dress on right now. So this ribbon just sang to me when I saw it and had to have it in every colour. And I'm sure I will be buying lots more of it. So obviously fill your box with whatever gift or that you're wanting. And then you want to do yourself, now this is how I do my bows. So one way, one the other way. Then I want to loop and loop, cross them over, except I want that facing the other way. So if I want that facing the other way, I will turn that round so that my tails come down the other way. So in other words, I do it upside down. So there's, start again, there's that, loop, loop, cross them, tuck it through, and then because this is single-sided, it needs a little bit of manipulation of twisting the tails a little bit. But you probably have just got all fingers and thumbs on there from me there. So I do apologise if it's tricky to, it's also quite tricky to tie a bow on a gift box when there's nothing, there's no content. So you definitely need content. So I've got my 10th wedding anniversary coming up, and the girls have been having a laugh and a joke because we've been saying, what is 10? It's apparently it's tin, or in the modern day, diamond. Guess what I'm hoping for? Bunny ears technique. Yes, bunny ears. Trim that off. Trim that off. Yep, Graham, however, I think has plans that it will be something to do with tin. So I'm thinking probably tin of baked beans or something, maybe. I don't know. Oh, I caught my thumb there earlier. Right, now that's just some fiddling around until you're happy with how that sits. But yeah, I'm a bunny ears kind of girl, but upside down bunny ears. And that really does look like bunny ears. It's like lop-eared bunny. Always wanted a lop-eared bunny. And now we still need to put that U on. Do we do? I feel it needs to be up there. I'm just looking, I think it needs to go there. Yeah, I do. And then we will have a, I'll do that, and we will have, what have I done with it? And then we've got to decide on, oh, they will go flying. What do we fancy? What do we fancy? What do you like best? A little bit of embellishment. Quick little bow there. Oh, the amount of little diddy bows like that I used to help my mum do. When my mum used to make like wedding cakes and things for ladies, magnificent masterpieces. They would have hundreds and thousands of little bows on them, and oh my goodness, the hours of work that she used to put into it was just breathtaking, really. Down there, or as a cluster? I think as a cluster. Then it's tucked. Yeah, but that would, obviously I've put a ribbon around it now. None of this is attached to the base, so you'll pull the base out and you'll be left with the heart and the little stamping, but the embellishment on the outside will come away with the box as you take it away. Now you could put a little tag up here. I didn't think it needed it because I felt like there was enough on the front of this one. And you see the size difference? It's just a little bit more squat. You could have pulled this down, but I didn't want to come down too far. I wanted there still to be sufficient space down here that it wouldn't suddenly rip or something. So yeah, but the reason for that one was because of that. It was a little bit easier. So that one had sequins, but it was a different colour. Now we could go, let's just have a look. We could add some of that, or we could add ooh, I like those. These are the Noble Peacock rhinestones, and they are quite regal. Really quite rich and regal. Yeah, quite beautiful actually. Yeah, over there. What do we reckon? How do we see that? I think that's a tinsy. Let's pull out a little bit, and then you've got a bit more space to see what I've done. I'm going to put that on there. I knocked it the other day. They went flying. It was pretty, but a pretty mess. They look lovely, don't they? Those, they're just, I love the colours. Absolutely love the colours on those. I clearly haven't used them enough and need to. So there you go. There's the two. I know kind of, less is more, but very occasionally you just need to just add that tiny bit more something. So I'm just adding, because they're really quite glitzy and shiny, just adding that tiny bit of a touch just to the edges. I have no idea whether that will be picked up on the camera, but there you go. There's the box. Slightly smaller, but only by 1/2 inch, literally 1/2 inch. So same width, 3 inches, but this one's 3.5 and this one was 4. But you can size up, size down. Had this not have taken quite so long, I was going to make you another one, a real quick one, but just a little tiny tinsy, almost like chocolate box or something. But I think you've probably had me for long enough, and I think hubby needs me back in the house to consider dinner. So I'm going to love and leave you there, and let me turn you around and there we go, and say thank you so much for joining me. I really hope you've enjoyed that, and I hope oh yes, my die. Thank you, Vivian. Do you know, I'm going to get a pen, and I'm writing now, pick up die. Thank you. Thank you. I probably would have forgotten that. I might have remembered tomorrow when I'm starting to put away the actual die box, but thank you for the reminder. Yeah, hopefully for those of you that wanted the measurements and everything, that's helped you, rather than me just literally throw you out some measurements. That's helped you really see kind of how to put it together and what you can do. And yeah, I might try making another one of these, but maybe I'm thinking with a dinosaur. Maybe a dinosaur with some trees and bushes, and I don't know. Might have a play. Anyway, I'm going to stop waffling. I'm going to love and leave you. I'm going to bid you farewell and good night, and just say again a big thank you for joining me and for commenting and sharing and everything like that. It's been lovely, and I'm off now to have something to eat. Enjoy the rest of the week, and Bertie will be back next Wednesday. Can't see any reason why he shouldn't be doing that. So I know he's already got a project in mind that he had set aside in a little tub over there, ready for last week that didn't happen. So no doubt he'll just resurrect that and play for that one with you. So I will see you with him next week. So until then, thank you so much, and you take care. Bye.